All right, now that we've done translations, we will do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of real numbers. Okay, this is an analogy that a lot of people have told me is really helpful. I know that it's somewhat simplistic, but it's the best explanation I can find for how signs really work the way they do. So we're going to start with just some really easy examples, but I just want to show you how it works. So what is 2 plus 3? I know you know the answer is 5. I totally know that. But let's just pretend that we're in our hot air balloon, and all positive numbers are bags of helium, and all negative numbers are bags of sand, and one bag of helium moves my hot air balloon up a foot, and one bag of sand moves my hot air balloon down 1 foot. So 2 plus 3, well, I'd add on 2 bags of helium, and my balloon would go up 2 feet, and I'd add on 3 more bags of helium, and my bag would go up 3 more feet, so I'd end up 5 feet above the cliff. So one explanation of why 2 plus 3 equals 5. Really easy, I know. Okay, what is 8 plus negative 2? Well, I'd add on 8 bags of helium and I'd go up 8 feet. And then I'd add on 2 sandbags. What's going to happen when I add on 2 sandbags? I'm going to go down 2 feet, so now I'm 6 feet above the cliff. 8 minus 2 is equal to 6, another way to think of it. Okay, what about negative 25 plus 18? Don't worry about what the exact answer is. If I add 25 sandbags and 18 bags of helium, am I going to end up above the cliff or below the cliff? Okay, I'm going to be below the cliff, so let's see what happens. 25 sandbags, and I go clear down there. Now 18 bags of helium, that's going to bring me back, not all the way, but a good bit. It's going to bring me back so that I'm just 7 feet below the cliff. So I have negative 25 plus 18 equals negative 7. Okay, negative 3 plus 9. Well, 3 bags of sand are going to drop me 3 feet, so I'm 3 feet below the cliff. Then 9 bags of helium will take me up 9 feet, so I'm now 6 feet above the cliff. Negative 3 plus 9 equals 6. How about negative 2 plus negative 3? Well, I drop below the cliff 2 feet. I drop 3 more feet down, so I'm 5 feet below the cliff. Notice my negatives did not cancel each other out. If I'm just adding them together, then I'm just compounding the negative behavior. What is negative 8 plus 0? Well, I go down 8 feet and I stay. That's kind of a silly one. So the rules. The part on the right-hand side is for those that really like things to make sense, and then there's another segment of the population that just want to be told the rule of how things work, and they'll memorize that, and it'll be fine. So here are the rules of how to add numbers. If you're adding numbers with the same sign, you just add the absolute value of the numbers and apply the common signs. So for example, if I had 2 plus 3, well, 2 plus 3 is just 2 plus 3, it's just 5. But if I have negative 2 plus negative 3, you forget about the negatives, so you take 2 plus 3 and get 5, but then since they were both negative, you put on a negative sign for the answer. So that's how the rule works. If you're adding numbers with different signs, try to think of how to phrase that in a rule. Just pause me for a second. Okay, if you're adding numbers with different signs, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract the absolute values of the numbers, but how do you decide which sign they get, if they get a positive sign or a negative sign? You might be tempted to say, well, the biggest number, the sign of the biggest number, but the biggest number is always going to be the positive number. But it's not like the most powerful number. It's the number that's furthest away from 0, or the number with the largest absolute value. So if we look at these problems right here, we had 8 plus negative 2. Forget about the negative. Just take 8 minus 2 and it's 6. But then the answer stays 6 because 8 has a bigger absolute value and it's positive. With negative 25 and 18, we just look at 25 minus 18, which is 7. But then 25 is a more powerful number. It has a bigger absolute value, so the answer becomes negative 7. And same with negative 3 and 9. We just subtract them and get 6, but the 6 would stay positive because 9 has a bigger absolute value. That is addition of real numbers. Let's look at subtraction.